the last thing I would want a man to go through is be estranged to the child. Take care of the kid, because that is time that is irreversible. Ikikupita imekupita. Hi, I'm Michael Njuguna.
And I'm Anjoki.
And this is our Burn in the Oven story. So July 2011, I start noticing that Anne is uncomfortable. She's having these morning sicknesses. She's too sleepy. She has an appetite for this type of food, this type of snack. And I officially got worried. So one morning, I decided to tell her that I'll be back at 11. I was going for some work. I'll be back at 11 and we will go to the hospital for a PDT, pregnancy detection test. And so we went to Kiambu Hospital. I still remember the attendant, the person who attended to us. He was so blunt. So he tested her and came back. He directed his comments to Anne. Anne, you're pregnant, eh? And because we weren't sure that was a pregnancy, we didn't even expect it. It hit us in the wrong nerve, and we took a few days to recover from that. So, but at least the satisfaction of what was going on with her, the morning sicknesses, the symptoms, at least we knew it was the pregnancy. And so immediately we started with the clinics. We started quite early. Actually, for all the pregnancies we've had, we've been attending to them from the first month. Yeah, and it was smooth. The first 3 months, of course, were up and down, the mood swings, the cravings. She loved Patco.
I used to take a whole packet of Patco in a day. Like, it was a must for him to come with them. And also the kebabs from Nairobi, not from Kiambu. Otherwise, I would open the door and start crying. Yes.
And she had a problem with me coming home past 6 p.m.
Yes, and he had to call like 4 times in a day to make sure I'm okay. Otherwise, it will not be okay in the evening. I
actually thought I was the pregnant one.
Yeah, we had to carry it, both of us. Yes, especially for the challenges, the first trimester I had some pains in my lower stomach. That is what mostly triggered us going to the hospital. I also used to love coffee. We would go to the village market like every Sunday for coffees. And actually, I wouldn't take another coffee. Even if it's from another Java, we had to go to the village market for that coffee.
So see village market, see coffee alikuwa nataka ni village market.
Ni village market, but still the coffee from the village market. I don't know what was good about it, but I had to take that coffee. Yes, and things started changing. I started sleeping like I would sleep like 22 hours in a day. He would wake up and I would tell him to prepare very fast to go for job, thinking he will be getting late. But actually I wanted to go back to bed. So the moment he hit the door, he had to make sure I have eaten, because I'll just go back to bed and sleep like the whole day. I'll hear him knocking in the evening. That's when I would wake up, we go pick supper, we eat, and then I start drowsing again. It was a journey. That was my second trimester. I would sleep a lot, and it moved on to the third trimester. The sleeping bit was, I think the baby just wanted to sleep. And she loved eating bananas and meat. That was like every dinner you would take bananas and meat. Yes, and the journey was great. The baby was healthy and she was born at the right time. For our second baby, she caught us by surprise. Since when the firstborn was 1 year, 3 months, I got pregnant again. The second pregnancy was a bit easy. I wouldn't even note that I'm pregnant. I would do things normally. But every lunchtime I would take githeri, ile ya kurukisha na chumvi. That was our favorite dish for the whole of the 9 months. I took githeri and I used to take it for lunch. At least I would consider him in the evening. We would change, though sometimes I wouldn't eat because she didn't want that. But we also loved fish. Kila jioni there was a lady at a place we call Moremo. So he would come home and we would first go to Moremo to get the fish. She loved fish. Yes, our second journey was quite easy. Even at delivery, I didn't take more than 30 minutes in the room. I used to walk a lot, so for me it was easy. I was very active during that pregnancy. I went to work till the last day. I think that made it easier even during delivery.
The second pregnancy, as she said, caught us by surprise. It was quite uneventful because she was even working then. I was also in school, so it was not really noticeable. She didn't have complications, and even the delivery was quite easy. But I would also stress the importance of attending clinics, because she was able to be told what to take when and how much to exercise, what foods to avoid. So it was quite easy. I remember that evening, should have been around 7:30 on 1st March 2014. I had barely gotten back to the house when I received a call from her that Nyambura is here. So I had to go back. But then again, public hospitals don't allow you to get into the hospital after some hours. So I had to go back home and come the following morning. But the journey was easy. Yeah. The third pregnancy is the one I can say we planned for, that was expected. It was so planned for, we waited for it, I think, for 8 months, which was not coming. I remember she would visit her gyna. I think at the 4th time she even yelled at the gynecologist that she wouldn't go back because she was starting to get frustrated. But we later came to learn that it was the family planning methods that we had been using before that were a factor to the delayed conception. That was quite, that pregnancy was quite a journey. She had an issue with low blood levels. We had to go for blood boosters, a lot of fruits, reduced exercises, reduced involvement. But gratefully, she was able to go through that. yeah, she had the usual cravings, ice cream this time, and pizza.
And a lot of challenges.
So I had to identify the best pizza joint. Right now, I doubt anyone would tell me about pizza. I'll tell you what Domino's feels like, what Pizza Inn feels like, what Pepino's feels like.
Yeah.
But she had a fetish for Pizza Inn, just that. Anything else was a no-no. Oh, and she loved the Chicken Inn, the cuckoos.
Actually, the first trimester was very hard for me. I didn't take anything for the 3 months. I used just to take lemon water and fruits, a lot of fruits. Because every taste of kitungu, nyama, the smells, I wouldn't want around me. So I used to take a lot of fruits and only lemon water. It took me through the first trimester. Exactly after 3 months, when the trimester was over, things started becoming normal. I started eating a lot. That's why he's saying I loved cuckoos, I loved pizzas. They were my food. Actually, I remember the day I was going to the hospital to deliver, we had to stop by Orange Mall for a pizza. I had to eat like a whole pizza myself on my way to delivery. Actually, I loved the pizzas. The journey was good, and the delivery was okay. We thank God so far. Eating a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, going for clinics so that the doctor can check whether the baby is okay, whether the baby's position is okay. Because I remember in the third pregnancy, 2 weeks prior, the doctor had said that the baby was not in the right position, but it was not a cause for alarm. So I had to do a lot of walkings. I used to look for a place I can have some stair steps to walk on so that the baby would stay in the rightful position. It was just slightly away from the uterus, from the baby's path of birth. Yes, it really helped us. We went for a scan a few days to birth and the baby was okay. Yes, so it helped us. We escaped the CS part. Yes.
So my advice would be, the moment a pregnancy is confirmed, just start your clinics there and then, because you are gynecologist or your prenatal, the professional taking you through the prenatal clinics will be able to identify what could be the problem and advise you.
Yeah, also when you visit the clinics, stick to the instructions of the doctor, like taking the right supplements. Sometimes the baby can just suck all the nutrients from your body. The baby will be born healthy and you will be back malnourished or without some nutrients, that's why you see some ladies, some of the tooth are plucked out because the baby took all the calcium, the mother didn't take the supplements. So the low in calcium and other things can cause some effects on their bodies. Yes.
I would advise healthy eating from the onset. Actually, we overlook these things until it's too late. But my advice now, on hindsight, would be just eat right from the word go.
Yeah, for the both of you, not only for the lady. For the both of you.
Just eat right.
Yes.
When the moment you notice you've conceived, identify a good, a reputable, either in our case, it was a gynecologist. Identify a medical professional who will take you through that journey. I wouldn't want to say that it must be a gynecologist or what, but identify someone who specializes with prenatal, birth and postnatal to take you through the journey. They will identify what could be the problem. Like you've heard from Anne that it should have been the 7th month. The doctor was just scanning to see the condition of the baby, and she noticed that the baby was not in the right position. And so she was advised to do a lot of exercises, and then after 3 weeks, go for a scan. She even referred us to Plaza Imaging, should be along Gong Road. And when we came back with the tests, now it was confirmed that the situation had changed. Had we not listened to the professional, it probably would have necessitated a cesarean section. But thankfully, we didn't have to go through that. Healthy eating and a lot of rest at times. During pregnancy, it's advisable, as much as we are chasing after the paper, it's advisable for the lady to go slow on the daily activities and concentrate more on exercise, keeping fit and all that. But being in a position where you are getting stressed up and all these things, it's not advisable for, even the doctors will tell you that the last thing a pregnant woman should undergo is stress.
Between the first and the second pregnancy, it was a bit hard because first of all we married when we were young, and not many people had confidence in us bringing up children when we were young. But God had been faithful, and we both stood with each other and we held our hands together. And I thank you for supporting me, my love. It was quite a good journey. But let me emphasize on when we got the second pregnancy, the first baby was barely 1 year, 3 months or 4 months. So for me, I had first to internalize it because it was not expected. That time we were not financially stable, so it was another challenge for us. But I thank God because He held my hand. We went through it. He helped me because we would talk, and that really helped me. And I internalized it. He really helped me, and the journey was smooth. But there is one thing I would encourage the society to always support these ladies, because bringing forth a life, it's not an easy journey. They really need our support. We don't encourage ladies to get children out of wedlock, but sometimes it happens. And that is why the society sometimes becomes wrong, because you demoralize that person, and from there, that is when we are seeing a lot of depression around. It is good to support them. We are not encouraging that, but what do we do when it does happen? We need to support them as the family. Let us come together, support them. Let us encourage them and show them that it can be done. And in the future, the Lord can also bless them with another husband, and they can raise a family. Let us always support one another, and we will bring forth good families which will lead to a good nation, and the world will be peaceful. And as a couple, from the beginning of when you start having a baby, as you plan to start eating right even before conception, the journey should continue even after postnatal, because here you are, you have never had a baby, you have a baby, things are changing, you have to change diapers, the baby is crying. So for the couples, it's good to assist one another. The mother is tired, especially the first 2 weeks after delivery. The body is tired, you need to rest, you need to eat right. So moral support is very important, and emotional support especially. Because there are some babies who are colic, you don't know what to do. It is good to look for advice from a health professional. It is good to listen to people who have gone before you in every step of the journey. Listen to them, you get a little bit of help, and also listen to your doctors very well. Especially for the mothers who go for CS, it's a very difficult time, holding the baby, feeding the baby. Moral support is very important, and emotional support especially. People who can help you, they can tell you, you can do it, I can come help you for 1 hour, you can get rest. That is very important. And also hygiene is very important for the babies and for the mother too, because the baby is very fragile. The baby is trying to cope with the new environment. The weather is changing, so the baby should be warm. The mother should feed right for the right nutrients. It's very important especially for the postnatal. That's why we find some ladies undergoing depression because you don't know what to do, you don't know what to ask for help. It is very important. Never feel ashamed of asking for help. It goes a mile in helping you and also helping the health of the baby, because when you are stressed, your hormones changes, can have some low amount of milk. So it is very good to talk to people you can trust, so that you cannot undergo depression or stress, so that the baby can feed right, the mother can be healthy, and you will have a strong family and a happy family.
I would say if a pregnant woman is blessed enough to have a man working with her during the pregnancy, it's a good thing. I think it's also good for the father to be, and then the father should feel the pride of walking the journey with the mother of the baby. I think bonding starts from there. Bonding starts from during the pregnancy and even onwards. Especially when the baby has been born, it's good for the father to take charge, take care of the baby, clean the baby at times. That's how you bond. That's how you bond with the kids. I would want men to consider it a pregnancy to them as well. Yani dem akipata ball, hata wewe consider ni wewe umepata. And that way you'll feel the need to support the mother. I'm saying the mother because there may be differences and you find yourself not a couple, yeah. But when a pregnancy is there and you know for sure you're the father, I think the right thing to do is to support the mother to be, because that will be your child. Go to the clinics together. You will learn a thing or two. Had I not known the importance of consulting medical professionals when I noted the symptoms in the house, we probably would have realized she's pregnant
Or taken
too late.
over-the-counter medicine,
Yeah.
and maybe the baby would be aborted without us knowing.
Yeah.
We would have rushed to the hospital and the doctor would have told you, oh, you are pregnant, and you're like, no. Yes. But
Because of the recognition of the need to consult medical professionals, even when she was not aware what was happening with herself, I identified the need to go to a medical professional. Go to clinics together. Also, as the man, take charge of the financial bit. It can really build or break you, because when the lady knows that the finances are in place, she knows that when clothes need to be bought, when a good house needs to be procured, a baby coat, those things that come with a kid, a kitty in place for emergencies, a cab just in case something of an emergency happens, you can call, whether it's night or day. I think that is the responsibility of the man, and if the man takes care of that bit, then the mother can go through the pregnancy with a lot of ease. And then, of course, preparing yourself even post-pregnancy. The journey doesn't end there. Particularly, I would comfortably say the first 6 weeks means everything for the father. It's best to be present. Yeah? She might be too weak to carry around the baby. She might there might be breastfeeding issues. There is also cleaning. I think the umbilical cord is supposed to be cleaned for the first 8 days before it falls off. The man take pride in taking care of such things. Now that our Kenyan society has gone past the idea that the mother-in-law had to be there. In our good local language, we say kohioheria, yani taking care of the wife or the mother. These days, even the mother is busy, you know. Even the mother-in-law is busy, so it's upon you, the husband and the wife, to take care of your children. Personally, I would say the growth of a child starts from conception. Walk that journey with the wife, the mother. When the baby comes, take care of the baby, bond with the kid, because that is time that is irreversible. Ikikupita imekupita. And the last thing I would want a man to go through is be estranged to the child. Take care of the kid.
We are the Jogonas, and that was our Burn in the Oven story.